Okay, this is just one, maybe 15-minute period, not even 10 minutes that I spent just on the house. Just on the house and the swing set. It's honestly really hard to make this video. If you live somewhere locally in Maine or New Hampshire or even Massachusetts, you've probably run into a brown tail moth caterpillar before, or had an experience with the rash, or have known somebody that has gotten the rash before, and you know that it is worse than poison ivy. Brown tail moth caterpillars are kind of unique in the sense that they have these they're very hairy caterpillars, and their hairs shed as they move around on things, and when they turn into moths, they shed their skin completely, and those hairs go everywhere. If you come into contact with those hairs at even a single hair, it causes a rash that is like no other. It can last anywhere from like 6 to 7 days to 2 to 3 weeks. It's really intense. If these caterpillars get into our wood pile and we burn that wood and we inhale the hairs from those caterpillars, we can be hospitalized with a respiratory illness. If one of the boys just decides to run outside with bare feet and steps on one of these, that is 10 to 12 days of sleepless nights. Nothing makes the itch go away. Nothing makes the pain from these rashes go away. If Bo picks one up off the ground and puts it in his mouth, that's a trip to the hospital. When I tell you, I have pulled thousands of these caterpillars off of my house and off of the boys' swing set this summer, that is probably an understatement. I probably likely have pulled off over 1,000 just in the last 10 days. These caterpillars are literally raining down on our house at all times, all over our property, all over our car, all over anywhere that we can't even sit outside. If I want to go outside with my boys, I have to leave our property entirely. We have a swing set that I'm honestly not even sure if they're going to be able to use at all, because so many caterpillars have been crawling all over it that we're going to need a pressure washer to wash it, and hopefully it'll be okay by the end of this season. Anyway, all this to say is we had a couple of tree guys come out and assess the infestation situation, and the trees need to come down. We were given several options as to what we could do about the infestation, one of which is an injection that goes into the tree, kind of like a giant shot. And it makes it so that the pesticide goes up into the leaves, and when the caterpillars eat the leaves, they die. The second is just spraying. It was the cheapest option, where you can spray the pesticide directly onto the tree. The only issue with that is that as soon as it rains, the pesticide just runs off and it's no longer good. Another issue we have is that our trees are 80 to 100 feet tall, and they're all directly looming over the house. So even if we decided to spray the pesticide, because it's the cheapest option, we would have to continuously try to spray up into the canopy, which is 80 to 100 feet tall. We would need a professional sprayer to come out every single time. Anyway, after talking to these arborists, we just came to the conclusion that the oaks need to come down. Honestly, there's just like no way around it, because there's no guarantee that a moth won't just make another nest once the pesticides wear off. And then we're back to square one and we're having to deal with this all over again. Anybody that's ever dealt with these caterpillars knows how pervasive they are and how awful it is to just feel like you can never even be outside for a second. All I want is to be able to like go outside with my children and feel like we can be outside and be safe. I want the boys to be able to like use their swing set. I want to be able to garden. I can't even garden. We can't even like leave the boys' bicycles or any of their toys outside. It's funny, I don't think people really appreciate how much you utilize the immediate area around your house until you can't anymore. Anyway, literally anything that you give is going to be given to the arborists to take the trees down. I'm going to be documenting the whole thing. We're going to try to get all of them down. The quote that the guy gave us was $8,600 to take all the trees down. I did not realize how expensive tree work was until he said that. I literally just thought you chopped down the tree and it fell down and that was it. But I guess it's just a lot more involved than that, and I did not know that. So we're literally just asking for anything. We honestly just really need the help. We really do. We really need the help. And I think it's just, I've had to swallow my pride and just put this out there in the hopes that we can get as many trees down as possible. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I seem a little bit like rigid in this video. I've like never done anything like this before, so I'm like a little bit nervous and like sort of embarrassed. Thanks for listening to my little caterpillar spiel. Yeah, I know it might sound crazy to some people that have never had to deal with an infestation like this, but it's like science fiction out there outside the house. And yeah, it's a constant source of anxiety and stress for me and the boys and my family. And we just could really, really use the help. So thank you so much.